It's a Saturday game day rivalry style here, everybody. Welcome in to the Fan Sports Network. Devin Dixon, Caden Formaster, Utah Tech Trailblazers, regular season wind downs, and they're playing the Southern Utah University Thunderbirds. Caden, we've waited all season. We knew it was the final game of the season, and it's finally here on a pretty decent-looking weather day up in Cedar City. These two teams will collide.
Yeah, it's about time that we get this one, the battle for the axe. I mean, there's a lot of names that people are calling this now, so call it whatever you want to call it, but it's a brand new rivalry for us here in Southern Utah, and so in the football world, it's something that I think a lot of people have kind of been waiting around for maybe even decades to see this really start to take off, and we've been in the thick of it now for the last few years, and it's been great.
I call it the feud on 15. We put a poll question up when this rivalry got rekindled, and we had battle for Blackridge, feud on 15, Red Rock rivalry, and of course, the actual name that they call it, the Battle for the Axe. Don't Wisconsin and Minnesota play for Paul Bunyan's axe? The axe familiar. Is actually an all-silver axe. It doesn't even have a wood handle like the old days when these two teams played 60-plus years ago.
Yeah.
But it is a rivalry game. We want it to grow. Southern Utah, we want the fans to show out up there at Eccles Coliseum. We want the Trailblazer fans in St. George to make the trip up there. That's only going to add to the rivalry. And hopefully someday these two teams are playing for playoff spots and conference championships. That'll add to the rivalry. Utah Tech is only 1 win and 4 losses since they rekindled this rivalry.
Right. And that one win came in a season where both teams were going head-to-head in a home-and-home kind of situation. And I don't know how often you've ever seen that, where two teams play each other twice in one season.
It's called the NFL.
Outside of the NFL, and maybe for college football, maybe in playoffs or something like that.
Like a title game, yeah.
But you just don't see that in regular season play. And we got it, and it was we got one where Utah Tech got the best of SUU, and SUU got the best of Utah Tech. Since then, it's been all SUU. So this is the Trailblazers' turn to try to take it back again. Yeah,
last year, some of the same players shine. Targy Lamson had a big game. Whistler had a big game. They kind of ran over Utah Tech, although Utah Tech ran the ball really well. Chris Street had a big game in that one last year, but it was Kobe Tracy at quarterback, and it was Justin Miller at quarterback. This game, we're going to have Jackson Berry for the T-Birds, and then we're going to have, of course, Reggie Graff for the Trailblazers. Our pregame show, glad you're with us here on The Fan in St. George, Cedar City. It's presented by Sand Hollow Resort. Do want to get you some thoughts from Coach Delane Fitzgerald. He had some thoughts about the new Trailblazer coach, Lance Anderson, when I caught up with him earlier this week.
Yeah, a lot of respect for Coach Anderson and what him and the young men are trying to do down there. If anybody in the world's ever going to respect a rebuilding job, it's going to be me, because all of my jobs have been rebuilds. But I have a lot of respect for him as a coach and what he's trying to do from a philosophy standpoint, and then I have a lot of respect for him as a man also.
That's pretty nice praise for an opponent, but it's true. He has built Southern Virginia. He's rebuilt Frostburg State, and now Coach Delane Fitzgerald has rebuilt SUU. They're 6-5 going into this game. So some kind words for Coach Lance Anderson in his first season.
Yeah, and it's always good to hear those words from a fellow coach and someone that's your peer, right? And he definitely, he spoke about it. He's been in the coaching position of a rebuild as well. He knows what it's like and how difficult of a job that is. So he says, hey, you know what? With whatever the outcome is of the season, that doesn't matter. That's a hard job. And so he's given all credit to Coach Anderson and this crew, which I think is phenomenal.
Yeah, and, respected him, said he respects him, and they've never coached against each other. So this will be the first time meeting between these two coaches as we get you ready for kickoff. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff from Eccles Coliseum. Did want to play one other clip from my conversation with Delane Fitzgerald talking about the Trailblazer quarterback, Reggie Graff.
Yeah, it's clear when you watch them on film that their quarterback diet spread offense, their quarterback dominant. Reggie does a nice job. Somebody in the community said, yeah, but he's just a sophomore. I said, yeah, but he's a 47-year-old sophomore. Like he's mature way beyond his years, and I'm making a joke. But he's a typical Utah player. He's an old sophomore, but the young man does a nice job. He can throw it. He can run it. He does a nice job of leading their offense. Devin, in the last decade, they are as quarterback/tight end driven as any offense that I've watched on film or that I've broken down.
Welcome back, Trailblazer fans, Southern Utah University T-Bird fans. This is our pregame coverage here on the Fan Sports Network, presented by Sand Hall Resort, Ernie Stores, Swinson & Shelley, Sun State Companies, and State Bank of Southern Utah. A lot of nice words there for the quarterback, Reggie Graff. And I believe Coach Fitzgerald when he says, I watch a lot of film, and the quarterback and the tight end at Utah Tech, they are very well utilized in Coach Anderson's system.
Well, and especially if you watch that Central Arkansas game, we saw both Reggie Graff, who had a passing, receiving, rushing touchdown. You saw Eni Filei, who had over 100 yards and a touchdown. I mean, it was definitely a good quarterback tight end duo in that game. But, I mean, they use the tight ends a lot. In the last game as well, it was Eric Olson who had the most receiving yards, who's also a tight end, right? So you're seeing a lot of tight end play over the course of especially the last few games, which is also interesting considering that the tight end wasn't even really a set position in last year's system, and they've brought it back into this year, and they're really utilizing it very well.
Yeah, a lot of 13 personnel for Coach Anderson, which makes the tight end room smile from ear to ear. And they probably want to get them even more involved than they have, to be honest with you, Caden. All right, lots more coming up inside our ZAG broadcast booth. Today's show brought to you. They got a location, 2 in St. George and 1 in Cedar City. They've got Black Friday and Small Business Saturday. Check this out. You can go to ZAG, and if you have a InvisiShield screen protector on your phone, your iWatch, your iPad, the limit is up to 3 devices, but they're going to replace all those for free. But those 2 days only, Black Friday and Small Business Saturday. So check that out at your local ZAG. We'll take a break. When we come back, we got lots to get to. Coordinator's Corner, player interviews, getting you ready for kickoff. It's the Blazers and the T-Birds coming up on the Fan Sports Network.
The golf course at Sand Hollow Resort is home to 3 holes ranked among America's 100 greatest holes by Golf Digest. At the golf course at Sand Hollow Resort, tee off against a backdrop of stunning red rock vistas on a course renowned for its innovative design and stunning views. Enjoy the 18-hole championship course or a quick 9 on the Scottish Links course. Ready to experience championship golf? Whether you're local or just visiting, scheduled tee time and play a round or 2 at the golf course at Sand Hollow Resort. The golf course at Sand Hollow Resort, where your next great round awaits.
Fabulous Freddy's is the locals' choice for a full-service car wash. It's fast. Have your car washed in just 20 minutes or less. Fabulous Freddy's always keeps it clean inside and out, with 2 Southern Utah locations as well as in Vegas, Lehigh, and Sandy. When it comes to your child's teeth, Dr. Cody and his experienced staff at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry are game changers. So when it comes to checkups, a toothache, or any problem with your kid's teeth, call experienced veteran Dr. Cody Johnson at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry, 628-0511.
Welcome back, everybody. ZAG broadcast booth. Again, thanks to all our great pregame sponsors that bring you Trailblazer Game Day, Sand Hall Resort, Ernie Stores, Swinson & Shelley, Sun State Companies, State Bank of Southern Utah, and ZAG. Devin Dixon, Caden Formaster. Caden, I'm fired up for this game today. I know the Blazers are 1-10 and SUU 6-5. Neither going to postseason, but it's still the feud on 15.
It's still a feud on 15. It's still a game that we all can look forward to just because it's college football in Southern Utah, and it's something that we don't see all the time. And so this has become a yearly event for us, and it's really exciting, and especially considering you have a team like Utah Tech that we've seen them take down the best of the best this season. In their one and only win, they were taking down a top 10 ranked opponent. And so now in a rivalry game, you got to bring out all the stops, and we'll see what they can bring to it today.
Yeah, I mean, you know it's going to be really, really competitive. You want guys playing on the edge, but not over the edge in a game like this. We do want to hear from a couple Utah Tech Trailblazers. This is kind of a feature story. We get to know them a little bit better. First, hear from the BYU transfer, Fisher Jackson, and then Josh Rillos will join us after that, getting you ready for SUU hosting Utah Tech right here live on the Fan Sports Network. Utah Tech Trailblazer Fisher Jackson with me here. And Fisher, good to sit down and chat with you, man. Great job last week.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I know you guys wanted to get the dub, but real quickly, 34-31, a little bit of a heartbreaker there against West Georgia.
Yeah. Not the outcome we wanted, but a lot to learn to take into this rivalry week.
Let's talk rivalry in a minute, but let's get to know you just a little bit first, man. Tell everybody where you're from and how you ended up here at Utah Tech.
So I'm from South Jordan, Utah. Not very far away, just up north. I played at BYU for 4 years, and then wanted to come down, have some fun, play some good football, and kind of be a part of something a little bigger, I guess, for my last year.
Obviously, lucky to have you. We don't get a lot of transfers from the Y down here in St. George, Utah. We've been feeding them guys for years, so it's nice to have the shoe on the other foot for a change. I'm really interested in that decision. Was there more to it than that?
A little bit, but at the end of the day, I just kind of chose what was best for me and just to be the happiest. I guess.
Do you still root for the Y on Saturdays or no?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard it a lot the past couple of days. I went to the BYU Utah rivalry game last week, and I was in the stands. So, yeah, I was cheering for the Y, but we're trailblazer now. So,
love it, love it. What's it like after you're in the middle of the season? You had a bye week, so that timing wise that worked out. Was it weird to sit in the stands? You probably hadn't sat in the stands for years.
Yeah, no, I've been to like a couple college games ever, kind of just through the recruiting process a little bit. So it was definitely weird to have kind of my first one be the Holy War. So yeah, it was fun to kind of be a player once and be a fan once. So yeah, good time.
What's Fisher Jackson favorite thing to do when you're not playing football, you're not in film study, or you're not in class? What's another hobby?
If it's warm outside, my favorite thing to do is go boating. I love to wake surf. My family does that a lot, so you can find me on the water on the lake.
What's your best trick you've landed?
360. I'm not that good, but I can stay up without the rope.
Do you go toe side or hill side on the 360?
Toe side.
Toe side? Because
But
I can't land
I can
it.
ride switch foot.
Can you really?
Whatever. Yeah.
Okay. And it doesn't hurt when you fall on a wake surfer.
No.
Yeah. What kind of boat?
It's a Supra.
Super.
It's
Super
my
cool.
dad's boat.
There you go. Shout out, Dad. Nice boat.
Yep.
Yeah, if you want to leave that to me when you get a new one, I'm sure Fisher will take it.
Oh, yeah.
Mom's favorite home cooked meal that you miss when you're not home?
Biscuits and gravy.
Ooh.
That's like mom cooks the biscuits, dad cooks the gravy.
Oh, shout out to both mom and dad. Well done.
It's so good.
I'm kind of salivating here.
Yeah,
I love me some. If I go to any kind of breakfast eatery, I'm ordering biscuits and gravy that I've never tried before.
Oh, yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Game day superstition, man. What do? Do you rev it up and get after the quarterback a little bit?
I feel like I really don't have one. I'm a little bit of a chiller. I listen to my music and...
But everybody does that, so that's nothing different, right?
Yeah, no.
Well, let's go this route. What's on the playlist?
Young Nudie, NBA Youngboy.
Okay.
and then I'll listen to shout out Max Tooley, the Lumineers.
Okay.
I'll throw some Polynesian music in there a little bit.
So you got a wide range of musical tastes.
Yeah, it just depends on how close we are to the game.
Fisher Jackson with me here. All right, you've been a part of rivalries. This is a growing rivalry. It's the biggest rivalry we have in Southern Utah. It's SUU, Utah Tech, Saturday. Last game, here we go.
Yep.
Thoughts on it?
I'm ready to go. It's a big lead up to this. It's the last game of the season. My first time being a part of the Utah Tech SUU rivalry. But it's just like any other rivalry game that you've been a part of since you were a kid. So, a lot of emotions. I'll play some old teammates. So, there's some emotions there. I'm just excited to play and finish out the season with my team, hopefully on a W.
Fisher Jackson, everybody. Great to chat with you, man. Good luck. Go get them.
Thank you.
Sitting down here getting ready for game day. Devin Dixon on the Fan Sports Network. Get a chance to go one-on-one with Josh Rillos here. And Josh, good to sit down and talk with you, man. I'm probably more excited to talk to you than you are to talk to me. Just a laugh. I only got a laugh out of him.
Yeah, that's it.
He's like, who is this guy talking football with me? Couple good catches last game, man. You're starting to get a lot more reps. Tell me about how fast the season flies by.
Yeah, man, it's been fun. Football always seems to fly by. While you're in the middle of the season, feels like you still got a lot left, but once you make it to the end, it went by in a blink.
I'm always curious. Tell me about the recruiting process, how you ended up here at Utah Tech, man.
Yeah, so I actually didn't have the opportunities I wanted coming out of high school, so I was going to try to walk on to Utah State, but they didn't end up having tryouts, so I was just trying to get into contact with coaches all over, and Utah Tech ended up giving me the opportunity to transfer.
And you wanted to play somewhere. You were driven.
Yep.
I love it. Just overlooked out of high school? Did you have good numbers in high school?
Yeah, I had pretty good numbers, but it was mostly my senior year. these coaches are recruiting like juniors mostly. I could have gone to Air Force, which is where my older brother played, but I wanted to make my own path. So
Colorado Springs ain't bad, but it's a little warmer here in St. George, Utah.
yeah, for sure.
Let's get to know you a little bit, man. What'd you like to do back home when you were growing up in Colorado?
I got 4 siblings, so just playing sports with them, doing all kinds of things, basketball, wake surfing, all that stuff.
Did you play basketball in high school?
Yeah.
How many points per game?
I wasn't that good, probably like 11 or 12.
Were you the heady locker room guy? Is that what you're telling me?
Mostly a defensive guy, I guess. I would guard the best player.
Did you use all 5 fouls?
Yeah.
Played. Josh, fun to chat with you, man. What do you miss about being home with mom and dad? Give me one home-cooked meal that mom used to make that you could go for right now.
I'd just say a good old spaghetti. Never gets old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, she had to have something with the spaghetti, right? With the meatballs or the
spaghetti,
toast
meatballs,
Okay, all right.
Texas toast.
Good stuff, man. What's one thing that nobody knows about Josh, or hardly anybody knows about you?
Shoot, that's a hard one.
Yes,
Man,
I
I don't
stumped
know.
him. No, there's.
I feel like I'm a pretty open guy. Maybe I dunked in my last basketball game.
There you go. There you go. If you weren't in the crowd in that gym that day, you wouldn't know that. Because what are you? How tall are you?
6 foot.
Okay, so you got hops. You got hops. Talk to me a little bit about the rivalry. It's your first experience with Utah Tech and SUU this Saturday.
Yeah, I'm excited. Rivalry games are always fun. They bring the energy, and it'll be a great way to end the season, getting a win against our rivals.
Fisher. Josh, great to catch up and talk to you, man. Thanks for stopping by and catch some bombs on Saturday.
All right, thank you.
Been a lot of fun to sit and talk with Trailblazers over the course of the season, get to know them a little bit, see what makes them tick. Josh is playing in this game for the first time, and so is Fisher. Fisher probably a little bit more familiar with Fisher Jackson. I think there's, 14, 15 Trailblazers playing their final football game at the collegiate level, and I think there's 12 T-Birds. So there's going to be over 25 kids lacing it up for the final time today.
Yeah, that's always a special moment in your final game. I mean, I don't know about you. I know you obviously did sports throughout school and stuff, and even at the high school level, when you knew it was your last time playing that sport, it was tough. These guys got the opportunity to continue that on further into college years, and it's always difficult when it's your last one. So for those seniors out there that this is their last time putting those pads on, it's going to be a bit of an emotional day, but you know they're really going to leave it all out on the field. Yeah, and I only played college football. I didn't play college football. I stopped at the high school level, but I was lucky enough to win a state championship and roll the table and go undefeated. Somebody's going out with a loss, and that's going to put a sour note on their career. And unfortunately, this game has no playoff implications, but they still want to send their seniors out with one more win. And that's what's at stake in this game today. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Caden and I will get you some more thoughts on the game. And Caden caught up with Coach Moynihan in our Coordinator's Corner. Stick around.
Your child's sports journey starts with the City of St. George Recreation. From their first steps on the court or field to becoming a star player, our youth sports programs are here to develop talents and teamwork skills. So get out and play. Check out all the sports and get signed up at sgcityrec.org.
Oh, hello, Italian nightclub from Jimmy John's. Ciao, freshly baked bread piled with Italian-style meats. Hey, hand-sliced veggies. Am I obsessed with this sandwich? Yeah. So what if I am? Jimmy John's. Order online or on the app.
Huge news! Sport Court has a brand new showroom and design center, and it's next level. See why so many are choosing Sport Court here in Southern Utah for top quality basketball, pickleball, and multi-purpose courts. Learn more at sportcourtofsouthernutah.com.
At Great Harvest, we believe in crafting more than just bread. We provide crisp, garden-fresh salads and savory sandwiches. Everything from garden-fresh ingredients to our signature handcrafted bread. Our friendly staff will guide you to find a meal that will leave you craving seconds. At Great Harvest, we truly provide something for everyone. And don't forget our baked goods. Satisfy your sweet tooth and finish your meal with a brownie or cinnamon roll. Come visit us at Great Harvest.
It's the Coordinator's Corner here at the Fan Sports Network. Caden Formaster and I'm joined by Defensive Coordinator of the Utah Tech Trailblazers, Coach Patrick Moynihan. And Coach, hey, we're down to the final game. We're just about there. Final stretch here against Southern Utah coming up this week. But before we get into the game this last week, looking back at the season as a whole, I got to say defensively, there's been a lot of progression. Tell me from your perspective what you have seen as some of the pros from looking back at the season so far.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you there. If you watched kind of how we played early on, it was very up and down. Where hey, we had some pretty good games against Montana State and UC Davis, but then if you look at UNLV, North Alabama, or Northern Arizona, Abilene Christian kind of games where we really struggled. And from my standpoint, like you said, what's been rewarding is to see not only the progress, but the players continue to buy in, continue to work hard, continue to practice hard, and prepare hard, even if hey, we weren't necessarily getting the results that we wanted. So I'm very appreciative of them to kind of battle through those early season struggles, and then I'm happy that they get to see kind of the fruits of their labor in terms of improved play this last month.
Yeah. One thing I want to talk about, going back a couple of weeks when you guys got that win over Central Arkansas, a big part of that win was the defense.
Yeah.
From your perspective, what was it like to see 6 turnovers happen?
I'm
sure every single one after the other, the excitement builds just a little more, right?
Exactly right. Exactly. It's one of those things where they sometimes tend to come in bunches. Excuse me, and especially from an interception standpoint. Like we were close on a handful of ones early on, and then just to be able to see the guys kind of come down with it, or whether it was a contested catch like Jackson Smith's to end the game, or a tip ball like that Brady Sorensen had for those 2 picks.
So I got to go back to, I think it was the very first pick. The play before it, they were going out towards the sideline, and the ball got tipped up and went out of bounds. And we were doing the radio broadcast on that, and the color commentator I was with said, man, if that were to happen in the middle of the field, just be ready.
Yeah.
There could be some interceptions in this game if they're going to keep tipping the ball up like that. Literally the next play. It was the next play that it was a tip ball and they took away the interception, and it was just like, yep, well, we feel like we're magic here because we just barely called it,
That's very funny.
And then, of course, a bunch more later. But I do want to talk about Brady Sorensen, who came in for an injured Brevin Hamlin and probably didn't see the field a whole lot leading up to that game, but he ended with 2 picks in that one.
Yes, yeah. And Brady was one of those guys where he coming in, we added him late. Coming in so he wasn't here for spring practice or for summer workouts. He just showed up for fall camp from a Boulder City high school, and it was something where it's a credit to him. Where even when he was on scout team or he wasn't getting a whole lot of reps, like he would shadow Brevin a lot during the walkthrough periods, and so he definitely approached it in terms of, hey, when I have my opportunity, I'm going to be ready, and he certainly took advantage of it.
Yeah, we always love to see when someone younger comes in and takes advantage of those opportunities. But the job's not done yet. You got Southern Utah coming up. This is a bit of a rivalry, and this is your first time being a part of this rivalry. Yes. This is your first year here at Utah Tech. Is there a little more excitement because maybe it's the last game of the season, maybe because the travel is 45 minutes to the north? Tell me about the atmosphere right now this week heading into the game.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you there in terms of, there is some excitement, there is some juice for not only the last game of this season, but the last time kind of this whole group will be together, and then for guys who have exhausted their eligibility, kind of the last time that they'll really put on the pads. So there's certainly some emotion there, and we've kind of seen it this week in practice, preparing for Southern Utah.
Yeah, and the emotion is always strong anytime that you're coming towards the end of anything, right? Yeah. And in this case, you do have some that this is their final time playing the sport they love. So, what kind of things do you guys do as a coaching staff, as you know that this is the final game of the season? Obviously, you want to leave it all out on the field. So what kind of preparation goes into that?
I mean, for us, it's very much we're preparing as if it's kind of a normal game week in terms of, okay, hey, here's Southern Utah's personnel. Hey, here's what they like to do within these different personnel groupings. Hey, here's how they approach different situations. And so for us, it's not something where it's, all right, hey, we've been saving this type of stuff for the last game of the season. It's very much, all right, hey, here's what we think matches best with what they do. Hey, here's a lot of what we've shown on film. Hey, maybe there's, a couple of things that we can tweak and change and stuff like that, just to add some different wrinkles there.
Yeah. Now, SUU has one of the toughest run games in the entire FCS, really. Yeah. Is that a major emphasis on the defensive side for you guys?
100%, and they're a little bit different because most of the teams that we've played this season, even the teams that run the ball a lot and run it effectively, it's majority 11 personnel, some more spread type sets. Southern Utah's majority 12. So they're gonna pack us into a phone booth and really kind of try and turn it into a fight. And like you said, they're running backs, they run hard, their offensive line, they're very athletic, they play tough, they play physical, and you can tell in terms of how they block and how the run game and the pass game both complement each other that they are a very well coached outfit as well.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, best of luck this weekend. Final game of the season. I know that we're excited here with the Fan Sports Network, and although it is a road game, it's not too far from home for us. So we're excited to be seeing you guys take on SUU and the battle for the axe. Let's bring the axe home.
That's right. Exactly right.
I love it. All right, that's Coordinator's Corner. We're going to take a break. We got more for you coming up next.
The golf course at Sand Hollow Resort is home to 3 holes ranked among America's 100 greatest holes by Golf Digest. At the golf course at Sand Hollow Resort, tee off against a backdrop of stunning red rock vistas on a course renowned for its innovative design and stunning views. Enjoy the 18-hole championship course or a quick 9 on the Scottish Links course. Ready to experience championship golf? Whether you're local or just visiting, scheduled tee time and play a round or 2 at the golf course at Sand Hollow Resort. The golf course at Sand Hollow Resort, where your next great round awaits.
Huge news! Sport Court has a brand new showroom and design center, and it's next level. See why so many are choosing Sport Court here in Southern Utah for top quality basketball, pickleball, and multi-purpose courts. Learn more at sportcourtofsouthernutah.com.
Create your own relaxing, comfortable space. Boulevard Home offers the guaranteed best prices on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. And buy with no interest financing. Shop Boulevard Home, because home is who we are.
Welcome back, everybody. Trailblazer Game Day. And our coverage presented by Sand Hollow Resort. From the golf to the grill, live music and events. Check it out, sandhollowresort.com. And appreciate Swenson and Shelley, Ernie Stores, Sun State Company, State Bank of Southern Utah, and Zag. Devin Dixon, Caden Formaster. Man, the show flew by today. It must be a big game, huh, Caden?
It's a big game, and it always flies by when you're having fun, right? And in today's game, catching up with Coach Moynihan was a lot of fun, and catching up with the players, and, of course, just previewing the final game of the season for Utah Tech football. It all just makes it go by real quick.
I have one request. I want this game to be close today. I want this game to come down to the fourth quarter, game on the line where both teams have a chance to win it with some key defense or offensive or special teams plays. I don't care how it happens. I just want this to be competitive and add to the rivalries. We try to grow this. I want to get this rivalry to the point, Caden, where the guys from Fox and KSL and Channel 4, they're coming down here, bringing their satellite trucks, and they're doing live drops from this game between SUU and Utah Tech. Hopefully we can grow it to that quicker, sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I would like to see that too. And, we've got ourselves some really good, talented players, talented coaches on both sides of this rivalry as well. The running game at SUU is one of the most phenomenal running games in all of FCS football right now. Utah Tech with this Coach Anderson and his crew and even Reggie Graff, who is he's coming off of a mission and in his freshman year has been a ton of fun to watch as well. Who can they keep through the offseason? Who are they going to bring in through a transfer portal? There's so many unknowns going into the next season, but there's excitement there at the very least.
And it's also a huge recruiting tool. Talking with Coach Fitz, Coach Anderson throughout the week and throughout the season, they do fight for a lot of the same kids. So you're trying to win this game. Maybe that's a little ammo to try to lure a kid to come to your school rather than the other one. All part of what we hope is a budding, growing rivalry. Well, that's going to do it for us here. We got Rod and the guys up in Cedar City. We're going to get it up to Eccles Coliseum. Great place to call a college football game on a Saturday. Thank you so much for listening and watching on Trailblazer Sports Vision. For Caden Formaster, I'm Devin Dixon. Enjoy the game.
Hey, let's go. Let's get it, baby. Out 3, 1, 2, 3.
Garrett Fotuning. Ball on the ground. A fumble recovery by Utah Tech. Makes the dive and catch. Touchdown. Trailblazers.
Welcome to Trailblazer Kickoff, presented by Camping World of St. George. Your next great outdoor adventure begins under the big American flag.
Let's go!
This is it. Our rivalry game to wrap up the season. It's the Trailblazers and T-Birds in the battle for the axe.
And good afternoon and welcome to Cedar City inside Eccles Coliseum as we are about 30 minutes from kick in the rivalry game, battle for the axe, Trailblazers and the T-Birds. Hi there, everybody. Rod Zundel here. Glad to have you aboard for Trailblazer Kickoff. This is the sixth meeting in the NCAA era between these two schools, and of course only separated by about 50 miles along I-15. And the T-Birds have the better of the Trailblazers. Southern Utah won 4 and only lost 1, including the T-Birds win last year in St. George 24-16. The only win for Utah Tech coming in 2022 when these two teams played each other twice. Southern Utah got the win here. Later in the year, Trailblazers got the win on payback in St. George. So looking forward to a fun afternoon here. Wind is going to be a major factor here in Cedar City. Gusts up to 40 miles an hour. It should be around 35 miles an hour consistently. And as we pan over, you can see the American flag right there in the north end zone. Pretty brisk pace right there. So wind is going to be a factor for both teams. 25 to 35 mile an hour winds all game long, and then gusting up to 40. So kicking game could be affected by it. Also the long passing game as well. All right, Trailblazers coming off their home finale loss last Saturday against West Georgia. They jumped off to a big 14-0 lead in the first quarter, but couldn't hang on. A lot of good things happened, but some of the same things that they just happened all through the season. They came up and bit the Trailblazers again. So now let's take a look back to last Saturday and the sights and sounds against West Georgia. It is an absolutely picture-perfect fall afternoon for college football. The final home game of the season for the Trailblazers and for the seniors. It's the final time that they'll put on a Trailblazer jersey here on their home field. And we are underway in St. George, Utah. On his first pass, it's picked off at the 28-yard line by the Trailblazers. And that's Jagger Williams. The hand to Crowell, and Kona Crowell gets into the end zone. His first career touchdown as a Trailblazer. Out to the 41, ball on the ground. Trailblazers say they have it. Reggie Graff to the end zone, touchdown Trailblazers. Bryce Parker, 12 yards from Reggie Graff. Trailblazers go up 13. Gonna loft it up for Eric Olsen, all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Touchdown Trailblazers. Reggie Graff to Chris Street, 2 yards, and that's Street's second receiving touchdown of the season. And down goes Widener in the hands of Fisher Jackson. Across the middle, wide open, Eddie Falati reaches up, makes the catch, and now the Trailblazers in business. We're in the Wildcat with Chris Street, and he dances his way, finds the outside, into the secondary, and it's a first down inside the 10-yard line. So you made off with a 34-yarder to end the first half. Throws it across the middle. Oh, my goodness. What a catch by Jay McEwen. And Street's got some room. Breaks into the secondary all the way down to the 35-yard line. Reaches across. Touchdown. Shamar Garrett. 9-yard on the fly sweep. And now they get ready to travel 50 miles north up I-15, take on the rival Southern Utah next Saturday in the season finale. So a lot of good things happened last Saturday, but just not enough, and they lost 34-31. Now they get ready for the rivalry game. And for the second straight week, we'll be wearing those white helmets with the blue UT logo, and they'll be wearing all white uniforms trimmed in red. And you see Southern Utah right there. It's blackout, so they're going to be in black. So it's black and white here today. There you see zero, Asa Chapman. He is back after missing last game. Gabe Valenzuela on defense, linebacker. He's back. Scooter Jackson, who missed last game, he's back as well. So they're getting a little bit healthier. Spencer Rich should be at full go. A little limited last week as well. Jackson Smith, the cornerback, he missed last week. He's going to be back. So getting a little healthier for this finale. Trailblazers come in with a record of 1-10 overall, 6-5 for the T-Birds. They're 5-2 in UAC. Trailblazers have one conference win. So the Trailblazers trying to play spoiler here. A win today, and Southern Utah can finish in a tie for second in the United Athletic Conference. So, and Abilene Christian, they were crowned the conference champions with a win last week. All right, time now to hit the film room. Coach Lance Anderson goes over last Saturday's game, a couple of plays, what worked, what didn't work in this edition of Film Session.
I'm going to start with one of our plays on defense that illustrates a good job of just our run fits and stopping the run here. This has been a challenge for us all season long, defending the run, but it's something we've improved on in recent weeks, and this is just a good example of that improvement. It's something that's going to be important this week against Southern Utah. So as we go back to the West Georgia game, we're going to get a perimeter run by West Georgia out here to the sideline, and we've got a really good example here of just everyone fitting, staying in their gaps, and then we've got a really solid tackle here at the end by Jaden Sheridan, which is something that he's done all season long. So if we stop the play here, it's just a really good example of how we should be able to fit a run play, where you always want to see a defensive player, then an offensive player. Defensive player, offensive player. Defensive player, offensive player. So you can see we've got this fit well across the board, and then even outside here we've got an offensive player and then our defender Jaden Sheridan outside. And when everyone maintains their gaps and leverage, it leads to good run defense. And then there's our solid tackle by Jaden Sheridan. So again, I want you to see it from the end zone, and again, just want to illustrate how here we've got everyone in their gaps. Good run defense here. And solid tackle here at the end. One of our biggest plays on offense against West Georgia on Saturday was a 52-yard pass to Eric Olson. And I just want to illustrate kind of the design on that particular play. On this particular play, we're in what we call 13 personnel, which means we have one running back on the field, 3 tight ends, and only 1 wide receiver. So we were expecting that when we went to this personnel group, we would get probably man pressure from West Georgia, where maybe they were really selling out to try to stop the run with us having multiple tight ends on the field. And that's exactly what we get on this particular play. So they let the play begin. You're going to see that we've got a lot of pressure from West Georgia, and then they are in man coverage, singled up across the board. So we've got a lot of good one-on-one matchups here. Now, the key to this play first, it begins with protection. So it starts with the pass protection from our offensive line. We're also leaving in a tight end, Jay McEwen, in pass protection. We've also got our running back, Chris Street, here in pass protection. And they all do a tremendous job. That gives Reggie Graff plenty of time to get the pass off. And then Eric Olson does a great job of beating the corner, number 1 here, using his speed and his size to get vertical and past the corner, and makes a great catch after Reggie makes a great throw here. So let's take a look at the play here. You see the protection, great throw by Reggie, and a great catch by Eric Olson, where we've got a little bit of a play fake, and you can see across the board, great pass protection here. That allows Reggie to drop back and make a great throw here to Eric Olson. Play it back one more time. This time focus on Eric here, and you can see the one-on-one matchup with no help, And just Eric using his size and his speed to get beyond the quarterback and do a great job of adjusting to the ball in flight right here and making that catch. Big play for us on offense.
All right, that was head coach Lance Anderson in the film room to explain what happened last week. The good parts anyway. Hopefully they can have more of those good things happen this week. But those long passes with the 30-mile-an-hour wind and gusting up to 40, going to be a problem here today. So we'll see if that affects how the play calling is handled by both teams. If the Trailblazers and the T-Birds, if they're going to go maybe to a short, quicker passes in the pass routes. However, Trailblazers are going to have to deal with the nation's leading rusher, Targy Lamson, the senior from American Fork High School. He is a good one. He averages 160 yards a game, 6.1 yards per carry. As I mentioned, he's the leading rusher in the nation. Trailblazers are going to have to slow him down a little bit and force Jackson Berry to put the ball in the air in these wins. So that's the goal, trying to hold down the Targy Lamson, the senior running back. Last week against Central Arkansas in the win in Arkansas, the T-Birds running back had 161 yards rushing, and he carries the ball over 20 times a game. So he's a workhorse. Trailblazers are going to have to pay attention to him. And speaking of players from Cedar City that wanted to be a T-Bird, we have one on the Utah Tech roster. We'll let you know who that is and hear from him as he gets ready to take on his hometown team. That's when Trailblazer Kickoff comes back to Cedar City.
D.R. Horton is America's largest home builder, but with a local heart. Nestled just west of the Sand Hollow Recreation Area is a 600-acre master planned community with beautifully designed single-family homes, cottages, and townhomes called Long Valley. Visit us at drhorton.com and join us in continuing the American dream of home ownership and build your next home with D.R. Horton, America's builder.
Experience the magic of southern Utah from the sky and the ground at Confetti Pebbles Hot Air Balloons. They take you on breathtaking journeys across the stunning landscapes of St. George, Hurricane, and beyond. But why just visit when you can live here? Priority First Real Estate is dedicated to helping you find your dream home. Together, they bring you closer to the community, closer to nature, closer to home. Confetti Pebbles Hot Air Balloons and Priority First Real Estate, where adventure meets home.
Hey there, sports fans. Ready to take a timeout from the sidelines and jump into the action? St. George Regional Airport has you covered. Score big with convenient flights that take you from our Red Rocks to destinations around the globe. Whether it's the bright lights of L.A. or an exotic getaway across the Pacific, your adventure starts right here at home. When you're planning that epic getaway, St. George Regional Airport is your home field advantage.
Welcome back to Cedar City inside Eccles Coliseum. We count down the minutes, about 19 away from kickoff of the battle for the Axe, Utah Tech and Southern Utah. Last week, Trailblazers held their senior day. Seniors playing final time on their home turf. Today, it's Southern Utah's team, 12 T-Birds out on the field being recognized in their final game of their careers as well. So kind of emotional time last week for the Trailblazer seniors as they knew again, and now emotion is going through the T-Birds players as they play their final game. All right, so one player for the Trailblazers, he wanted to be a member of the Southern Utah T-Birds. He just grew up just behind us across the freeway west of the stadium. His name is offensive lineman Bryce Crowley. Wanted to be a T-Bird. They didn't want him. Had a chance to talk to him about coming home to play in front of his hometown fans. Here's Bryce Crowley.
So you grew up just a couple of minutes away from the stadium. Yep. Why aren't you a T-Bird?
They didn't want me. Signing day, they called me and said they didn't want me, and so we're at Utah Tech, baby.
But that's where you wanted to go growing up, right there, right?
Yeah, that was my only person that was talking to me, and then a couple other D2s, so that was the plan. And then signing day, they just said, nope, we don't want you. So
that still bother you a little bit? You got something to prove Saturday?
No, I'm happy to be at Utah Tech, happy to be a Trailblazer. I'm just excited to play on Saturday and knock some teeth out, so it's going to be good.
But kind of deep down, you want to prove to them, right? You
A
still
little bit,
got
maybe
it, right?
a little bit. Not too much, just a tiny bit.
Yeah, right. He's saying all the right things, but deep down Bryce Crowley is itching to get after these guys after they shunned him and said they didn't want him. He wants something to prove. Don't tell him. He's going to tell you otherwise, but don't believe him. So we'll see how he handles the emotion of coming and playing in hometown here this afternoon. We are just under 17 minutes away from kickoff, Trailblazers and T-Birds. Time now to go to one of the Trailblazers practice. We put a camera in the helmet of defensive lineman Dane Whalen, a transfer from Nicholls State, and we found out what it's like to be Dane Whalen at a Utah Tech practice. Here we go inside the helmet.
I'm Dane Whalen, I'm defensive lineman from Osage City, Kansas. Play some ball.
I'm mic'd up now. I'm officially mic'd up. Close your eyes. Oh, that's just cool. Hey! Dude, what's up? Say hi to Sadie. What's up, Sadie? I'm mic'd up. I'm here! Still not today.
Hope you enjoy the trenches with me. We'll see you all later. Go Trailblazers.
All right, that Dane Whalen, and there's the coaches. We're right next to the Utah Tech coaches in the booth. That was Steve Clark, the tight ends coach, just walking back behind us. There's one of our film guys right there. Say hi. There you go. He's got the hood on. It's kind of warm. It's clear blue sky here, guys. But it's just windy. You can see the American flag briskly whipping there. Again, we're supposed to be around 25 to 35 mile an hour winds gusting up to 40. But anyway, back to Dane Whalen. He's a short guy. He's only about 5'10". He said 5'10 and a half on a good day, but he packs a lot of power in that short body, and we'll see how he does today. He's kind of like, we call him one of those little nippy dogs that just go right after your ankles, and he can do that very well on the defensive line. Okay, so I said Targy Lamson, the leading rusher in the nation, T-Birds running back, the senior. I got the wrong Forks described there. He's from Spanish Fork, not American Fork. He went to Timview High School. So got to get your forks correct. Fork in the road, go one way or the other. Sometimes you choose wrong. All right, enough of that. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll get the final word from head coach Lance Anderson as we are about 14 minutes away from kick. Trailblazers and T-Birds in the battle for the Axe.
Welcome to St. George Academy, home of the Dragon Slayers, where academic excellence meets individualized learning right here in Southern Utah. At St. George Academy, we believe in challenging our students with rigorous curriculum, preparing them for a demanding college experience and beyond. And it's all tuition-free. Our unique Pathway University program offers accelerated courses, allowing students to earn college credits in high school. Experience the St. George Academy difference, schedule your tour today, and join us on your educational journey.
Yesco is a proud partner of Trailblazer Sports Vision and Utah Tech Athletics. Yesco specializes in manufacture of custom electric signs and displays. From the smallest to the largest, Yesco can design, manufacture, install, and maintain an identification package that is tailored to your specific needs. Yesco has been serving Utah businesses for well over 100 years with quality signage and exceptional service. To see how Yesco can serve you, go to yesco.com.
Craving something sweet but healthy? Come to Berries and Cream, the original spot for fresh berries in our delicious sweet cream. Locally owned and operated right here in St. George. We offer a cold, refreshing treat that's perfect for the southern Utah climate. Fresh fruit has never tasted so good. Berries and Cream, the original taste of St. George.
Counting down the minutes till kickoff, Trailblazer T-Birds in the battle for the Axe, our Southern Utah rivalry. We are just over 12 minutes away from kickoff. Out on the field right now, the T-Bird Marching Band. Let's pause right now and listen here as the pregame festivities continue here on Rivalry Saturday. Okay, just some of the festivities here on Rivalry Saturday. Battle for the Axe. We're getting close to kickoff. Trailblazers and the T-Birds. Welcome back inside our broadcast booth. Trailblazer football brought to you by Sand Hollow Resort. Glad to have you aboard for Trailblazer kickoff. Time now to get the final word with head coach Lance Anderson. Takes a look back at last Saturday and what they need to do today against T-Birds, their rivals, to get a win and end the season on a good note. Here's Coach Anderson with the final word.
Well, Coach, kind of hard to believe that this is the final Saturday.
It's gone fast. Hard to believe. But it seems like once the season starts, it flies by.
Going back to last week, got off to a great start, and it goes back to what you're saying, you weren't able to finish like you wanted to.
To the end zone, touchdown, Trailblazers. Bryce Parker, 12 yards from Reggie Grapp.
Exactly. I mean, there were some good things in all phases, offense, defense, special teams, but not enough of those good things. We failed to finish. But again, for the fourth straight game, we put ourselves in position. Now we just got to learn to finish more of these games.
You got Jared Fotu over there doing a little dance behind you. So what do you want to see with this rivalry game, and how are you approaching this? Any differently than you have in the previous weeks?
We're trying to go through the same process, the same preparation, treat it the same as any other game, but we know there's going to be a little bit more emotion. There's been a little bit more energy this week. What we're trying to get accomplished this week, we know we've got to be ready to play physical. Southern Utah, on both sides of the ball, is a very physical football team. We've got to be able to match that physicality and execute and finish on Saturday.
So when you look back at this year as a whole, from where you started to where you are right now going into your rivalry game, what comes to mind?
I have seen progress. I know maybe on the outside it's hard to see, but our guys are getting better. They've gotten better from spring ball, fall camp, throughout the season. I think you've really seen that maybe the last 4 games where we have been much more competitive. We still have a long ways to go as a program, but I just want to see us on Saturday just come out, compete, play a physical brand of football, and find a way to finish.
Personally, your first head coaching job, full year, can you put into words what it's been like? Was it what you expected? What was different? What you like? What you didn't like?
Probably a lot different than I expected. At this point, I've really got a really good picture of kind of where we are as a program, what we need to do to go forward, what needs to be changed, what needs to be different. And that's going to be our challenge in the off season is, to be able to build this thing in the right way. I think we're very capable of doing that. It's just going to take some work, but it's great to have this opportunity. And I appreciate the buy-in from the players and their belief and their work ethic. And, love to see them get rewarded with a win on a Saturday.
Garrett to the goal line, reaches across, touchdown, Shamar Garrett.
Obviously, execution, finish, play hard, have fun. But what is your message emotionally to this team? What is it going to be right before the game?
Still no different than kind of what I just, we got to play a physical brand of football. We got to play with great effort. We got to go out there and compete and then find a way to finish. Knowing that when we do those things every day and carry that stuff into the off season, that's what we can build this program around.
Trailblazer Marching Band with the rendition of our national anthem as we are getting closer. Under 8 minutes now to go before we kick this off. The battle for the axe here in Cedar City. We will take one more break, and when we come back, we'll have final thoughts on the kickoff of Trailblazers and the T-Birds. That's when we come back.
D.R. Horton is America's largest home builder, but with a local heart. Nestled just west of the Sand Hollow Recreation Area is a 600-acre master planned community with beautifully designed single-family homes, cottages, and townhomes called Long Valley. Visit us at drhorton.com and join us in continuing the American dream of home ownership and build your next home with D.R. Horton, America's builder.
Experience the magic of southern Utah from the sky and the ground at Confetti Pebbles Hot Air Balloons. They take you on breathtaking journeys across the stunning landscapes of St. George, Hurricane, and beyond. But why just visit when you can live here? Priority First Real Estate is dedicated to helping you find your dream home. Together, they bring you closer to the community, closer to nature, closer to home. Confetti Pebbles Hot Air Balloons and Priority First Real Estate, where adventure meets home.
Hey there, sports fans. Ready to take a timeout from the sidelines and jump into the action? St. George Regional Airport has you covered. Score big with convenient flights that take you from our Red Rocks to destinations around the globe. Whether it's the bright lights of L.A. or an exotic getaway across the Pacific, your adventure starts right here at home. When you're planning that epic getaway, St. George Regional Airport is your home field advantage.
Pregame festivities continue. Under 5.5 to go before we kick things off. Battle for the axe, Trailblazers and T-Birds. All right, some Everbowl keys to the game. Very simple. Got to try to control Targy Lamson, the senior running back for the T-Birds, and try to keep him around 100 yards and nothing more. Can't let him get off big chunks of yardage. And then the Trailblazers must finish what they started. They've talked about it ad nauseum the last month. When they start a drive, they've got to finish. When they get a good spot on defense, they've got to finish and take advantage of every opportunity they can get. T-Birds, good teams. They've been in a lot of close games. With their 5-2 conference record, 6-5 overall, Trailblazers are going to have their hands full. They've got to finish, and they got to control Targy Lamson. So there you go. All right, the kickoff is about ready to get underway. You can hear this game over on the Fan Sports Radio Network. And we're excited to battle for the axe 2024. Almost here. Kickoff, T-Birds and Trailblazers coming up next on the Fan Sports Radio.